Thinking about that traffic, of course, and thinking about gas prices because they're pretty bad right now. The national average price for a gallon of gas is now over $5 at $5.01. That's according to AAA.
Yeah, in the Chicago metro area, the average is even higher, $5.90 a gallon right now. The pain at the pump is getting worse. And Patrick DeHaan is the head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy, and he is joining us to talk about what is happening with prices at the pump. Patrick, so we did drop a couple of cents in the last few days, right?
Yeah, we did. After peaking on Friday at a whopping $5.96, we've fallen a whopping 2 cents. But
okay,
you know, it's better than going
down. Yeah, we're starting on a good note. We're starting on a good note. Now, we know that there are lots of factors that kind of drive prices so high, but just give us the key factors, if you would.
Well, a lot of this is driven by very low supply of gasoline. In fact, here in the Midwest, gasoline inventories to start the summer are at their lowest level recorded, and those records start back in 1990. So over 30 years, of course, a combination of other factors, Russia's war in Ukraine, demand, which has remained very strong. It has gone up as prices have gone up. And all of this is really supply and demand. Not enough supply at a time that demand is going up because of the summer, and that's pushing prices to record highs. Basically, we have no margin for any issues this summer. A refinery issue or hurricane could send prices even higher.
Oh, wow. So as you look ahead, and I'm asking you to take out your crystal ball right now and give us a sense. I mean, when you're looking at $6 a gallon, you can't even imagine it going up any higher. But is there a number that you're looking at? Perhaps $7, $8, $9, $10 a gallon?
Well, I think as you get close to the double digits there, the 10, the less possibility there is. In fact, that's, we'll say, almost off the table. It's next to impossible. The number that worries me more so is potentially the $7 figure. And I'll say because we're only 5 cents away from the $6 mark here in Chicago. And if we remember back to 2015, the middle of August, BP's refinery went down unexpectedly, and that caused prices to go up basically $1 a gallon overnight. Now, this situation this year is more dire. We have less refining capacity than we did in the last 3 years. So if there are any of those exceptional and rare events, we could see Chicago's average hit that $7 mark. But without the catalyst of a refinery issue or a hurricane, I don't think we'll get there. So, you know, whether we get there or not, unpredictable. It really depends on Mother Nature and if refineries can operate you know, close to capacity for most of the summer.
So you're thinking we'll stay at about the $6 range unless something catastrophic happens?
We could. We may see a little bit of relief here and there as well. If demand starts to come down, we do have refineries that are increasing output. A lot of the maintenance is now behind them. As long as we can see those supply numbers start increasing, we'll be in a better place. So relief is not off the table, but don't expect prices to plummet either.
We've been talking about capacity, and there have actually been 2 oil crashes in the last 8 years. Does that make oil companies sort of hesitant to drill where it's allowable? And also because of the move for cleaner energy, how much does that impact all of this?
I think that's a big role. The future of these investments, you know, the president wants oil companies to increase output, but the biggest question is if you sink billions of dollars into either increasing refining capacity or increasing production, is that something that's going to put a target on your back down the road? Will a future administration try to cut that off? That's why oil companies are a little hesitant to spend that money. And the other thing is how quickly we shift over to EVs and other technology. That's a reason why I think oil companies are having second thoughts on making those big investments.
Yeah, makes sense. A lot of moving pieces, though. Thank you so much, Patrick DeHaan, who is with GasBuddy. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.